Welcome to another video on how to become a business consulting freelancer, particularly looking at the section 5, the developing your personal brand as a freelance consulting. So over the couple past videos, I went on to describe first the importance of creating a personal brand, because it not only allows you to elevate your success, but also to attract more clients, become a thought leader in your industry and authority in that. This is a couple of benefits that from the Zero to Mastery course taught by Paul Mendes it mentioned, right? So the whole point of developing your personal brand is to use your story and your experience as a way to describe what you have done in the past, what are the value you provide to the market and a particular industry, okay? And everything is unique in yourself. So there's a couple benefits, just to mention a couple benefits of this that will that will give you the benefit of find new clients, so find land and charge more to your clients. So we have trust and authority, and I love this step-by-step way to describe this, because much like the personal brand,
Put all of
okay.
your energy on 1 to 2
No, stop. But much like the personal brand that you're creating is your story based on your experience of the thing that you have done, until you reach a point that people see you, understand what you're offering, and down the line you create is your own network, communicating and reaching others, that you can provide your value and vice versa. So by growing your network, you eventually will attract more clients where you can charge them more. So this is the entire narrative here, okay? So with the personal brand, so by having an audience, and this is the importance of this, creating an audience is something that a lot of CEO and entrepreneurs, and recently now artists, and anything on particularly the music industry, the technology industry, they know that. The entertainment industry knows that as well. So by having an audience that allows you to build trust and authority, because after all, which is this is the thing that I'm doing even in my own Instagram account and across my different social networks like Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and YouTube, right? Is that I am building my audience, and the way to do that is by posting things that are becoming a thought leader in my industry. In my case, as a Shopify developers with a background of software engineering over 6 years, okay? Because people gravitate toward things that they like and trust. So putting yourself at this will pay off dividend in the long run. Perhaps at the beginning you're not able to see that, or you just want it quickly. But again, Robert Greene, okay, has a fantastic. So Robert Greene has a fantastic description about the strategies, okay, the strategy of war. The TLDR, or the relevant thing from that, is you have tactics and strategies. So tactics are things that most of us are very, very good at it, to deal with the immediate problems that we are perceiving. Okay, so this is tactics, and we are very, very good at dealing with a lot of tactics or handling is this immediate problems in our daily life. However, when it comes to abstract that or to see the bigger picture, the strategy, that's why, for example, Robert mentioned that how useful is to have not only a creative mind, but also this level of abstraction or just breathing, okay, long enough to understand the bigger picture of our action, which is exactly what is doing when you're building your personal brand. And this is interesting because even though if you do that stochastic or in a more controlled or organized way, both are creating your own life. So are creating your own personal life. Some of them have more control of that, the others not that much, right? The vast majority of us don't have full control of our life. So by creating this and by having at least this military mindset of creating your own campaign in your life will allow you to, in the long run, have not only an audience that you help them to build trust and authority in that particular industry or in that particular domain, but also will pay off dividends because people in that audience will appreciate you and will recognize you as someone that provide value in this particular domain. So this is the entire reason of why trust and authority, uh, at least by having an audience, is one of the benefits of creating your personal brand. So this also leads to an accountability for yourself that you actually have to do the work. And unfortunately, in on the U.S., there's a lot of people out there that have the privilege or the benefit of not necessarily passing through that. And they will eventually face the consequences of that unless you are close to the U.S. government or some of these uh, big top tech corporations or any of the elite. All right. Uh, if you're not, then you will have to create your own personal brand or your own history in a way that is more controlled and is more strategic about that. And there is something, uh, there is a narrative around the strategic that is most likely a moral narrative that says, hey, you shouldn't do that because life is not life is not an strategy. So I'm not a pawn uh, in your chess, right? Uh, with a strategy, what I mean is that you will have not only much more control over what you are doing, but also why you're doing things, how you're doing things, and what to do. So this not only gives you much more, sorry, so this not only gives you much more control over your life, but also where are you going and why you're doing things. Because let's face it, we're gonna die anytime soon. We don't know when, but that's the fact. So recognize is our own mortality, and I think this is the first step that we could that might lead us to this. So recognize our own mortality, and from there decide where we're gonna go, what kind of life we want to build. Oh, that's why this strategy start to emerge. I can combine that with what Albert Camus mentioned. Uh, the TLDR is, what are you waiting to kill yourself? Okay. In my case, like, well, I'm coward enough to do that. So, because of that, well, what are you gonna do? That's lead me to figuring out the answer of that. That will lead me to more questions, where the beauty is on the questions. So, okay, uh, but the TLDR of the personal brands, just to come back here and not go into different tangents. Uh, so, developing a personal brand as a freelance consulting is something that will help you to boost your success. Uh, because this is similar to create an offer, and you want to stand up, you want to be a specialist in a given industry. Again, this is the first level. Okay, you are a specialist in that particular industry. So, yeah. Um, so, well, the benefit of personal brand is that by having an audience, which is the first thing you have to do. So, by having an audience, it helps you to build trust and authority in your industry, and people put their trust and people, people gravitate toward things they like and trust. So this will pay off dividends in the long run. This, as you do that, right, as you're building an audience, or as you are talking to an audience, because I feel that's what you're doing here when you are posting content on Instagram. After you're talking to an audience, okay, after you're talking to an audience, or posting to a particular audience. So having an audience means that you're talking to a particular audience, okay. So after you're talking to a particular audience, uh, to build trust and authority in your industry, giving your experience, people will gravitate toward things they like and trust, which will pay off dividends in the long run. This will open up to new opportunities. Okay, so such as magazine, news, radios, podcasts, and that's what media wants, and uh, that's what people who own this media, whether it's podcasts, newsletters, magazines, and that's what they want. They want experts in that field, uh, and to become an expert, uh, I will argue that you must do the work. You must do the hard work. Period. You must do the hard work, and there must be social proof of that. So after after you're posting content to a particular audience, okay, and by having an audience, it will help you to boost Jesus. So by talking to an audience, okay, so by talking to an audience, that will help you to, by talking to an audience and developing in the by talking and developing an audience, it will help you to build your trust, which is something that I will write it down here, because by posting content to an audience. Okay, so by posting content to an audience, it will help you. So by posting content to an audience, exactly, by posting content to an audience, it helps you to build trust and authority in that field. So by posting contents to an audience, it helps you to build trust and authority in that domain based on your experience, pains, and share knowledge. So by posting content to an audience, it helps you to build trust and authority in that domain based on your experience, pain, and share knowledge. In that domain based on your experience, pain, and knowledge. So by posting content to an audience, it helps you to build trust and authority in that domain based on your experience, pain, pain, accountability, and knowledge of value. And it's here that actually will give you that, you know? It's here that this will give you this. So people gravitate towards things they know, like, and trust. Exactly. People gravitate toward things they know, like, and trust. Putting yourself, putting yourself, putting yourself at this will pay you, will pay off your dividends in the long run, which is exactly what you're doing here. But again, how do you build this? A very, very interesting question. It's like, how do you build this? It's based on your interest. So it's based on your interest. So by following your interest, so by following your interest, which is this. So by following your interest without or have a job that generate cash flow. Have a job that generate cash flow. Schedule your interest to learn. Share your experience. Document your learning process. Exactly. Have a job that generates cash flow. Schedule your interest to learn. Document your learning process and share your experience. will give you, document your learning process, share your experience, and apply your learning into the real world. Will give you an immense, will give you a huge, have a job that generates cash flow, schedule your interest to learn, document your learning process, share your experience, and apply your learning to the real world. And apply your learning to the real world will give you a huge perspective. It'll increase, it'll boost your perspective. It'll boost your perspective on when, what to do, and why. But is this? Have a job that generates cash flow, schedule your interest to learn, document your learning process, share your experience, apply your learning to the real world. It will boost your perspective on what to do and why. Basically this. So by posting content to an audience, it helps you to build trust and authority in that domain. So based on your experience, pains, accountability, and knowledge of value. Because people gravitate toward things they know, like, and trust. So putting yourself at this will pay off dividend in the long run. But it's this completely, man. So with that, when you build the trust and authority, or as you develop your, or as you're building your audience based on the content you're talking to them, and also to apply what you are saying, okay? In this particular case, is for the self-improvement and that kind of thing. So by applying what you have learned so far, this is one of the reasons why you're becoming a trust sources. You're becoming a trust and authority in that domain because you have not only the experience but also the pain and the accountability for that, as well as the knowledge of value you provide. And the people will gravitate toward things they know and like and trust. So people gravitate toward things they know, like, and trust. This, so putting yourself at this, it will pay off dividends in the long run. That will open up you to new opportunities. Okay? Okay? That open up to new opportunities, whether it's on podcasts, magazines, radios, because the media want experts. And by experts, people that have passing through that experience and learn from this. Okay? So media want experts. So by having a personal brand, you avoid first repeating yourself, which is crucial. That resonates to me vastly. So by having a personal brand, you avoid repeating yourself, okay, which is a programming concept, a programming pattern. The dry, don't repeat yourself in programming. After all, I'm applying what I have learned so far. Don't repeat yourself. It's a principle of software development aimed at reducing repetition of information which is likely to change, replacing with abstractions that are less likely to change, or using data normalization which avoids redundancy in the first place. But again, this is a principle of software development. A principle, a principle of software development. A principle of software development. Don't repeat yourself. So when they see you, they will figuring out who are you, what is your audience exactly, who are you, who your audience is, in this case, who am I talking to, and how you can benefit as a consultant. Usually a win-win situation. But this is exactly what my next step will be, right? Because after all, what I'm doing is just to developing my personal brand on my different social media accounts, right? Instagram, Threads, YouTube, and Twitter. Okay? And if that is like I am building, uh, or I am talking to a particular audience, and it is funny because talking to this particular audience is talking to myself as well. So, what are the things that I would like to know when I was 20 years old? You know, what are the things that I would like to know I'm at 20s that I know at my 30s? And so, by posting content to this audience, meaning to myself as well, uh, uh, so yeah, by posting content to this, so by posting contents to an audience, it will help me to build trust and authority on that particular domain because people put their trust and like, or people put their so people put so people gravitate toward things they like and trust. Okay, so people gravitate toward things they know, like, and trust. And by putting yourself at this will pay off dividend in the long run. Because people will see this is what you have done over the couple past months, weeks, years, that kind of thing. So it will start to open you to new opportunities, whether it's the media, magazines, whether it's the media, magazines, radios, podcasts. In media, want experts, want people that have accountability on whatever field they have, right? So by having a personal brand, it avoids you to repeat yourself completely, which is a principle of software development. So don't repeat yourself. So their audience can identify who are you, who your audience is, and what are the benefits by listening to you. Usually a win-win situation. And this enters in the realm of sales as well. So what is the value? What do you put in the table? What I get from you? You know. So once you look at this, so once you open up to these new opportunities across different medias, podcasts, magazines, radios, news, your audience or your network start to grow, okay, and you have to do this consistently. You have to talk to your audience consistently, and put time and effort to do that. Okay, so by having these personal brands where you can clearly articulate who you are, what you do, it'll make easy for other people to find you, entrepreneurs, uh, merchants. It will make them easy for them to see value in connecting you. Okay, and this is how you can leverage your network online and offline. So growing your network will attract clients, okay, that they can see you as your potential partner. And here it is important to have a system that funnels clients into your business. And this is one of the reasons why we use is the solution selling process. All right, particularly at the prospect list. Okay, at the prospect list. Uh, if I remember the solution selling process with where it all starts with the prospect journey, where you identify who is your potential clients, you start to reach out to them, you get in front of them to get their attentions, and then you qualify them. So based on the sell leads and prospect, uh, then you find who is the right fit for you. Then is when you do a video presentation or call discovery to do even more fact finding about this client. Uh, and this is all about asking the right questions, meaning that you want to figuring out if you are the right person for the client and if you can meet their expectations. If it is, well, then you send a proposal for that. So let me just to recap that. This is the solution selling process. There you go. Is this. So this is when you send the proposal. If everything went well, if the client wants to decide to work with you, hey, send me some more information about this. This is where you now use all of your expertise and suggestions to compile in different offers that the client can go with. And then is uh, when you send their proposal and you add value to that proposal. So this is the solution selling process here. And the reason why I'm applying this is because especially when you want to attract clients by creating your personal brand where you are telling your story about your experience, your pains, and the accountability to solve those problems, and also talking to a particular audience to help them and help you to build trust and authority, because after all, people will gravitate towards things they like and trust, and people will remember what you make them feel. You know, people will remember. People will remember. Sorry. Uh, People remember how you make them feel, because after all, we are freaking emotional animals. So people will remember how you make them feel, uh, and if you talk to them in a way that aligns to their values, or they see you value in what you're saying, what you have done, and as well as the accountability, uh, that will pay off dividends in the long run. Where now, not only that, it will open you to new opportunities. So You can get invited to podcasts, radios. Uh, so you can get invited to podcasts, radios, magazines, news, and by having a personal brand, it allows you to repeat yourself, which is one of the software is one is a principle is one of the principle of software development. Don't repeat yourself. And media want these experts, okay, so their audience can identify you, who are you, who your audience is, and that will start to grow your network, okay, which is this step, and that will help you to grow your network with consistency on the content you're posting, as well as the quality of the content you're posting, and other people might see you, whether it's art, for example, entrepreneurs or other business owners, and see value in connecting you. By doing this, by creating your network, it will attract potential sales leads and clients where they want to collaborate with you, especially if you are uh, the expert to go. And this is when you need to have the assistance. This is when you need to have a system that funnel client into your business. That's what I bind that to the solution selling process. So you have this. So you have now. So you are creating. You create your own network, right? So based on your personal brands, based on the things that you're talking, and the experience, the accountability, as well as how you solve your own problems and pain points of others. So this will make other people or your audience to see how you're doing and start to know you and trust and like. Sorry. So you can now, once you get invited to different news, media, podcasts, you can see their value in connecting you, and also their audience can identify who are you, who your audience is, and see value in connecting you. Because once you started to create your own network, meaning that you started to meet other people, you might find even in their clients that will provide you some sort of jobs or uh, a contract. And this is when you need to have a system that funnels client into your business. The solution selling process. So the prospect journey, exactly. So the prospect journey, and you qualify them, you do then a sell calls or discovery demo, all right? And ultimately, if everything went well, you go to the sorry, you go to the sales, sorry, to send the proposal and close the deal, right? So the personal branding also not only allow you to start to build your own audience, uh, as well as to go to different, open you to new opportunities by going to different podcasts and medias and radios, programs, that kind of things, as well as grows your network where you can find clients along the way, okay? Or entrepreneurs can see values in you, very, very, very important value, can see value in connecting with you, where you can attract more clients and charge them more by having and defining a contract with them, where you need to have a system that funnels client into your business. And this is how you create a lucrative and successful business. So this is all about in theory, because now with this you can allow it will allow you to charge them more. So applying this concept, okay, is the difference between knowledge and wisdom. And this is something that I'm gonna do from today and now on. So that'll be all for this video. Take care. Bye bye.